What's up guys, it's your host Maverick here, and today's Monday again, so time for Monogatari Mondays. Today we're watching episode 4 of the Nekomonogatari Shiro arc, I guess you could say. How did they actually call it, right? Do they call it the Nekomonogatari Shiro arc, or did they call it the Tsubasa Tiger arc? Anywho, so last episode where we left off, we've got Shinobu teaming up with the Sari Neko, aka Black Hanekawa, where they arrive at the cram school, the abandoned cram school, in order to try and find Araragi, only to see him not being there, and instead a destroyed cram school in front of them. So yeah, I'm not really sure what else we can say here. Obviously, this is going to be completely focused on removing the tiger, I guess you could say. I'm still thinking that perhaps we're not going to have interactions between Araragi and the rest of the cast, at least until the very end of this arc. So he's probably off doing his own thing, whereas Shinobu and Hanekawa, Sari Neko, and Senjugahara, and perhaps others are off going to be doing their own thing, right? I could be wrong, but in any case, let's jump in and find out. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, really? Really meta. Okay, so I'm assuming that those 25 chapters are talking about what Araki was actually doing, right? Oh, no, wait. But actually, sorry, they skip chapters once Hanekawa transforms into the Sari Neko, right? Yep. Ah, alright. That's a fast thing. So I do kind of wonder, are we... At first, like, there's two ways they could go about this, right? Like, all the skip chapters have something to do with Black Hanekawa, the Sari Neko, or they could also be talking about what Araki is actually doing in between all of that. Or maybe they're just going to save it until later on. I wonder how they did it in the light novels. So that they literally, like, when you're reading through chapters, it's like chapter 25 and then whoosh, chapter 52, something like that. And then later on, how then? That's quite the interesting way if that was the way the author did it in the novels as well. Because normally, even if you have, like, how should I call it? Even if you have non-linear timelines, they would still follow the chapter order, right? They literally still go from 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But if he even did like a chapter skip within the novels itself, well, you gotta hand it to him. That's a unique way of doing things. Yeah. In any case, here we go. And back at it. Still with the Shindo angles. Nice traditional rule, I guess you could say. Eating together. I mean, sometimes you just want to sleep in. Oh. Huh. Damn, his... Damn. Honestly, this isn't really the voice I imagine her to have, but... Why does this lady remind me of the, Senjugahara? Aw, we didn't get to see her full face. Yeah, somehow she reminds me of Senjugahara. I wonder if that's intentional. A little bit of an Oedipus complex. And who are you? The tiger? Episode... Oh, no, wait, sorry. This is back in Kizu. Okay. One of the guys after Senjugahara, right? I mean, not such a... What the hell am I saying? Heart Underblade. Good question. Got called in. Tiger Hunt. Really normal? Everybody's saying this about her. Alright, who is it? Oh. Hello. This is the first time they've met, right? Hmm? No, wait. Who are you? Okay, okay. Huh. Lots of new characters here being introduced. Alright. I mean, I guess we, with a god's eye view of this, would know who she's talking about. Soda? Are you like this literal opposite of Hanekawa? History. This is ironic as well. Yeah. You're coming across as being very aggressive. Or is he trying to rile her up or something? Giant. So part of the lost chapters. Yeah. If you don't know anything, learn it. What? Alright. Oh, really? Okay, so it all comes back of Kumbaru as well. What Aragi is trying to deal with right now. Fair observation. Well, it's a logical conclusion. Microview and microview. Ooh, that's a nice point, actually. I never thought about that. She even has a key to the house. I mean, this is certainly a pretty carefree family. I mean, their brother, like, one of their... Like, Aragi's been gone for a few days, a few nights already. And they're just like, ah, whatever. He'll be back when he wants to come back. Fire Sisters. Oh. Heart and love. Don't tell me it's all going to boil back down to... Oh. Oh my god! They're talking about her, right? They're talking about you. So they're just gonna like play over it. Gotcha. just like Aragi? Ah, that's your problem? But what caused it to manifest at this time? Episode Kun? Okay. I guess because he's younger. Yeah, and you're calling him Kun. Why not? Oh, because she's going to face the tiger, so she's not sure if she'll return. Leave one last photo. And then trying to leave her uniform here. Aw, that's kind of cute. Two. Huh. I mean, I think I can just take a look at the ending song myself. It's the same one, right? Anyways, see you guys after this. Alrighty there, another episode where we are introduced to a lot of different things and without a lot of answers here, right? Now obviously I feel like the most important thing in this episode would be the introduction of another character, Gan Izuko, who has a really peculiar name, but I mean all the characters in this series have pretty peculiar names, but as it turns out she is actually the upperclassman, the senpai of our favorite trio, right, of Kagenui, Oshino, and Kaiki. To be honest, before, when she was just arriving on the scene, I actually thought that was Kagenui. I thought they were going to show her coming back and then, you know, maybe in town to do some other business and whatnot, but it turned out to be someone entirely new, who apparently is, who apparently has a thing for Hanekawa, in the way that she provokes her and whatnot. I do feel like, I don't know if that's significant or not, the fact that she seems to have this catchphrase of knowing everything, whereas Hanekawa has this catchphrase of "I only know what I know." Right? There's a stark contrast here. So perhaps they're meant to be rivals in a sort of way, but on the other hand, I don't particularly think so, because it's obvious that this new character has more connection with Kanbaru and to the family. In fact, I would even venture and say probably the actual main story that's going on, right? If we consider Aragi to be the main character, then where he is should be where the actual main story is. Whereas this is currently, we're in a Hanekawa character story, if you will. Of course, she is one of the main characters, so it ties back in the end. But I'm willing to guess that what Gaian is here for is probably what also Aragi is off doing alongside Kanbaru as well. And I mean, it's not too hard to see where this could go. Obviously, it seems that Gaian is perhaps from a different branch of the family. This might be one of those cases where there's this head of the family, and then he has lots of different wives and whatnot, and so, this big household and stuff, and it appears that this household definitely has its roots in a lot of more supernatural things, let's just say. So, anyways, looking forward to that. That's probably going to turn into a pretty epic arc as well, potentially in the future, although I'm not really sure when we're actually going to get to this part of the story. And by the way, just want to quickly mention, like, what school did these guys go to, right? Like, how come there's, like, already four that we know about, four world-class sorcerers or people who handle the supernatural, or whatever you want to call them. We've got Kagenui and Oshino and Kaiki, right? And then we also got their senpai Gaian and potentially others as well. I guess maybe they are in this position because they were of the same club or whatnot, but I'm just saying, it seems hard to believe that this school isn't supernaturally inclined in some way also to have this many respectable alumni, right? But anyways, that's in terms of Gaian. We'll probably see her later on. I doubt we'll see her in the next episode, considering that Hanekawa is probably going to resolve the situation by herself or through the help of some friends, I guess. Which brings us to the subject matter of Hanekawa, right? So in this episode, I think it's clear that they've explicitly expressed that the root of the problem this time is still back to love, and specifically Hanekawa's love towards Aragi, right? And perhaps even more specifically, the feelings of envy and jealousy here. Which, of course, it makes sense for this to be a continued matter of stress for Hanekawa, considering that she is seeing Aragi in a relationship with Senjugahara, but still, they're maintaining a good relationship as well, and then there's just all these other girls around him, even though Hanekawa was here first, right? So I could totally see that. The only question I do have is what specifically triggered it this time, right? Because it doesn't seem like anything really happened. No specific event happened or whatnot. And I guess it's just through the passage of time, as time goes on, if these feelings aren't resolved, then, they just build up, and then once you reach a breaking point, it tips over, right? So I guess that's just the explanation for this time. And then also, courtesy of Senjugahara, we got the sort of connection between all the places that she's staying, burning down, which is, I honestly didn't make that connection at all. So good on Senjugahara, I guess. So what I'm getting from this story right now is that Black Hanekawa is the alter ego, right? Well, obviously, I don't think that's too big of a revelation. I think we've known that since I don't know, since Nisei, maybe? I mean, we do know that, we do have this sort of feeling that this Black Hanekawa isn't actually just a pure manifestation of the Saori Neko, right? Obviously, it's still part of Hanekawa in some sort of way. And then so I think in here it's explicitly stated that the reason that Hanekawa is able to have this sort of aloof nature to her as she is right now is because all the negative stuff is being thrown out towards the black Hanekawa, the one who's shouldering the burden of all these negative feelings and thoughts and all the bad stuff, right? So what I'm guessing right here by the end of this episode is that Hanekawa is actually considering for them to merge back together, right? So in fact, you could even say that Black Hanekawa might be the true Hanekawa in a way, because she is the more normal one, right? Because she is shouldering these black thoughts as well, whereas the way that Hanekawa, the original Hanekawa is doing this is sort of unnatural in a sense, which again freaks a lot of people off and so on and so forth. So because of the end there where she is writing to Black Hanekawa and yet at the same time saying stuff like I'll never meet Aragi again, or this is my final wish, my last wish, or whatnot, I seem to get the feeling that she's acting this way because maybe she's thinking of merging together with Black Hanekawa to form this new Hanekawa that in a way you might not really say is the old one anymore, right? So it's sort of like an elimination of self, if you will, for this new reborn and merged Hanekawa, which might be a little bit different from this Hanekawa as we know right now. So that's my theory as to why she is doing all this. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense, right? If she was worried that she was going to go up against Tiger and then get herself killed and whatnot, well, that would mean Black Hanekawa can't survive as well. So she's expecting Black Hanekawa to survive on. That's why I arrive at this conclusion here that she is trying to, in essence, give up her sense of consciousness as this independent entity and merge together with the Black Hanekawa. But of course, things could always be different. We'll see in the next episode. And then there are some miscellaneous things to see here and there as well, such as, I guess in this episode, it's quite obvious, but we do confirm that the Fire Sisters are sort of like a brocon. They really love their big brother, their older big brother. We got to see some action from Aragi's mom as well. She seems quite the philosophical type. I do wonder if we're going to see her in the future. She seems to be quite the hot girl as well, in relation to all this. And then we also see Episode back here. For some reason I couldn't really recognize him when he first came onto the scene. I saw like the crosses and whatnot, and I was thinking, hey, maybe it's one of those that in the past back in Kizu who was trying to kill Heart Underblade, right? But for some reason my mind blanked at that moment and I thought he was someone else. But yeah, Episode is back. Don't know if that is any of any importance or whatnot, right? It seems that even if he is back, he's going to be going along with Gaien to, like I said, the where Aragi is, where Kambaru is, and that side of the story. So probably, we'll not see him in the next one as well. But in any case, those are my feelings on Gaien so far, and my thoughts on how Hanekawa is going to progress with this. Now, is this going to be the ending of this? I don't know. Honestly, it's really hard to tell here how this exactly is going to resolve itself, right? And is it a good thing or not? You could debate it. I feel like this is one of those series where it's hard for me, especially in this case where we don't really have perfect information and whatnot. I mentioned this in the last episode as well, but I am much more comfortable just letting things ride out and seeing how they choose to make this development. Because sometimes there are like little twists in there that I wasn't expecting at all, a completely different interpretation to what I have as of right now. But one thing I will mention though, I feel like my interpretation of Monogatari being just a collection of people with mental problems, right? A sort of metaphor for people with mental problems. I don't know. I feel like I'm still continuing to get that vibe, especially in this arc as well. But we shall see. Anyways. So, that was it for episode 4 of Monogatari 2nd season. I'll see you guys next time as well. Stay tuned, and bye-bye.